Hello and welcome to the Art of Tuning In podcast. I'm Maria Furlano. Thank you so much for joining me today in episode number 92, where we're talking about pushing and intuition. It's so great to have you here. If you're new here, welcome. I am a doctor of medical Qigong, a physician of Chinese medicine. I'm a spiritual medium and I teach the energetic arts. If you'd like to learn more about all the services that I have and what I do, please visit theartoftuningin.com. I'm just so glad that you found me today and very excited to have you here. I also wanted to mention for those of you who have been listening for a while, thank you for being here. And I know I've been away for a little while. I've had to step back for a couple months. I have been deep into teaching, finishing up my immersion program, focusing on material and the students inside my studio, and also, of course, private clients. And when I do that, I really need to deeply focus on what's going on. So I have to step away a little, but I'm really excited to be back and to share some episodes that are coming out that I hope will give you really good support and really good information. So I thank you for being patient with me. And just please know that if I'm not here, it's because I'm off teaching and doing things. So very happy to be back. And I also want to let you know that if you haven't signed up yet, Holding Space, which is my free weekly guided meditation offering that I do live every Tuesday, is still up and running. We have been doing this now for months, and it has just been a wonderful experience. It's totally free, but you do have to register for it, and you get access to all of the recordings. So if you can't show up live, that's totally fine. You can just watch the recording and use the recordings to support you. So if you would like to sign up for that, if you would also like a friend to sign up for that, that would be wonderful. Go to theartoftuningin.com/, holding space. And I can't wait to see you there or see you in the recording. I also wanted to let you know that if you are ready to go deeper with me in this work, the Tuning In Studio has reopened, accepting new members. And the Tuning In Studio is an online monthly Qigong studio for women who want to cultivate their health and who want to continue to expand into their intuition and into their spiritual gifts. And I invite you to join us. You can also, of course, go to theartoftuningin.com/studio to see all of the information and sign up. However, I want to give you a little tip. If you register for my energy insights, where you go to my website and you sign up for my newsletter, I am sending out very special discount codes to all of my subscribers. So if you're interested in joining the studio, please do go to theartoftuningin.com, sign up for the energy insights, and you'll get those discounts. I'd love to have you join us. So let's jump into our topic today: pushing and intuition. Does it make sense that those two frequencies would be completely different? Pushing and intuition. So let's talk about first what intuition is. Intuition is a state of receiving. It's a state of moving into a space where we align our energy, or our energy is aligned, and it's allowing information that is not just readily in front of us, maybe in this 3D, very tangible, dense place. It's an energy of reading that is of a different frequency, of a different vibration. Maybe it's not viewable to most. It's a hearing, it's a feeling, it's a knowing, it's a sensation, it's a taste, it's a smell. There's all different ways, right? We've talked about intuition and how we receive information. So, in order to be open enough to receive that kind of frequency, so I'm always talking about frequency because I teach people how to shift their frequency so they can feel better so they can heal, because you can't be in one frequency. So, for example, you can't be in a pushing frequency and in an allowing and receiving frequency at the same time, right? You can only do one thing at a time. You can only be relaxed instead of tense. If you're tense, you have to move through changes and shifts to become relaxed. If you're relaxed, things come at you, things happen to your system, you react and respond in a certain way, which may begin to tense your body, right? And you're moving through frequencies to take you to another state. Okay, so this is very important. I want you to picture you're in a boat on the ocean and the waves are very, very choppy. And you're going up and down and bouncing on the water, up and down. It's very hard. You're just holding on, right? Hoping it will stop, but you have no control of it. You're just holding on, holding on. That's a vibration. That's a frequency that you're in. It's holding on, keeping yourself safe. There's a lot of bounciness around you. Let's say you want to shift the frequency. You would need to go through steps to allow yourself to calm, to allow the water to calm. And there would be time, there would be a little bit of time to move into alignment, to move into breathing, to move into letting go as the water relaxes, as you relax. And now we're on this beautiful, beautiful clear water that is like glass, that isn't moving at all, that is peaceful, that is calm. And you can feel in your body, as I describe that, how it shifts. What does it feel like when it's big and choppy? And what does it feel like when it's totally calm? You feel the difference in your body. And the reason why this is important, the reason why being very clear in your body, being very clear in how you feel. When we teach Qigong, we always say this is an experiential art, meaning you have to experience the energy. You can only read about it for so much. You can only hear about it for so much, but you actually have to experience inside your own body what's happening with you. How is the energy flowing within you, right? So when we go through these types of visualizations, like for example, choppy, choppy water, what does your body feel like when you feel that? So when you hear me say that, does your body tense up? Can you feel yourself holding on? Can you feel, I mean, when I was saying that, I was even picturing that it was probably cold and I was just tense and uncomfortable in all different ways. And then as you move through and you breathe and you relax and you let go, you shift. And when you shift, you move into an allowing state. And as you move into this allowing state, everything in your nervous system relaxes, but also your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, which deeply connects into the earth. But the root chakra is also our fight and flight chakra. It's ready for action. It keeps us safe. It's forward motion. It's, the I want, I'm going to get this. I'm going to keep going, right? It's so the pushing, got it. I'm going to get it. The root chakra is wonderful in the sense that it can motivate us forward. It holds a lot of our confidence. But on the other side of it, and the more of the imbalanced side, it can also hold a lot of protection energy rooted in fear, which means that we tend to overprotect, we tend to overpush, we tend to want to over accomplish, want to over prove ourselves. So that pushing energy, that constantly needing more, wanting more, nothing is enough. I need to protect. I need to make sure I'm safe. I need to find the answer, right? All of those things, the I need, the movement. I'm trying to explain and bring up as much visual as I can with you because I really want you to feel this in your body. So when I'm saying this, I can feel the activation in my root. I can feel my legs start to tense. I can feel even the lower part of my stomach start to get a little bit uncomfortable. It's like it's getting ready for action, right? We're getting ready. That's not a bad thing. I want to make it really clear. It's not bad to get ready for action. It's not bad to take action. And it's not bad to have confidence. And it's not bad to feel secure in moving forward. What we're talking about being more of in the allowing state is understanding that that root chakra, that activation part of I need, I want, gets really activated when we're under stress and when we're under fear. So if something happens in the world and it really kind of rocks our emotional self and we don't know what's going to happen, that root chakra activates. And it's supposed to activate. It's supposed to keep us safe. It's like a little bit of an alarm that says, okay, do we need to run now? Or what do we need to do? Like danger, what's happening? But the skill and the mastery of understanding how to work with your own energy system is to be able to pause, to slow down, to tune in, to feel what's going on, to assess the situation, and to know, do I really need to run or do I need to pause? And it's okay. This is all happening out there, outside of me, but I'm hearing about it. I'm being impacted. I'm feeling it. But am I in immediate danger? Do I need to push through? Do I need to go? And if you don't, because most of the time we don't, most of the time in our world now, because we have so much access to so much information. And if we're not like actively looking at the internet or watching the news, we may have a family member or a neighbor or a friend who might be actively telling us something that happened in a day, every single day. And so we get activated. And if you want to be intuitive, if you want to live your life from the intuitive frequency that you carry, which we all carry, it's just practice. If you want to live that way in that frequency, it means that you need to become masterful at understanding how your energy moves, at understanding what's yours, what's not yours, at understanding how to calm yourself, bring yourself to center, and change that frequency from that boat that's rocking on the ocean that is feeling very stressed and in danger to moving into your center and to commanding the energy that runs through you. That's really important. So sometimes when I teach, I tell people about command your energy. And at first, people can get a little bit weirded out by that phrase, command. I'm going to command my energy. But when you're really in tune with yourself and when you understand your alignment and when you have real confidence of understanding that everything you feel is exactly what you should be feeling and that you do have control and command over how you feel, when you choose to command your vibration, command how you are vibrating, which is how you resonate, which is the frequency that you hold, all those words all work together. You move through life in a really different way. You are not reacting and responding to everything that's going on around you. You're able to react and respond and make different choices, right? Instead of just being pushed and pulled in your reactions and responses, you are able to make choices in how you react and respond. And it's very different. And so if you want to live your life in an intuitive place, it's very important to be able to assess, feel, align yourself, feel again. So this is an important point. When we're in a situation that is highly anxious or fearful or emotional, we're going to feel all the feels that are going on then. And it's really important to feel all the feels. I'm a big feeler. You want to feel because that's going to tell you the level of danger or the level of emotion that's happening, or maybe something that you need to do, or care that you need for yourself, or maybe care that you need to give somebody else. But at some point within that, pretty quickly, you also want to get yourself aligned through your center. And you can do this most quickly through breathing, a nice long inhale and a nice long exhale out your mouth, which helps to calm your nervous system. Like a really nice long inhale, and a really nice long exhale. And it begins to let your nervous system know that, okay, we are taking control now of how we feel. And then you align into your center. And then it's very important to feel again. But now we're feeling on a very different level. First, when we have things coming at us, our nervous system is reacting, our fight and flight is kicked into gear, meaning our body and our mind is saying, do we need to run? Do we need to activate this? And that's a decision. But most of the time, like I said, we don't have to respond in those very quick ways. And so now it's time to go into center. When we go into center, and now we're tuning in on that different level, now we're tuning into a deeper, wiser part of us. Some people will move right into their center, right into their heart, right into a feeling state, and they will just know an answer, or they will know what they need to know. Some people will tune into the center and they'll be able to move up and out and access guidance from guides, angels, God, whatever it is that they believe in. Some people move right into themselves and go right down their legs into the earth and access from Mother Earth, Gaia, everything that they need to know. So there isn't just one way to access intuition, but there is always getting aligned and moving into your center. And from there, understanding how you access greater wisdom. And when you're in that state, this is where the pushing comes in. If we truly come in and allow ourselves to be, then we are allowing receiving. We are allowing. If we come in and we're still scared, we're trying to align our energy, but we're still scared and we really want an answer, we're still moving from our root chakra. We're still moving from that fight and flight and activation place. We're wanting an answer, and that is totally different than receiving an answer. Because when we receive, we have to surrender. And this is the big thing about mastering your energy and why it is so challenging. And it is challenging. Okay. So this isn't something that we ever really truly perfect, because we are constantly dealing with situations in our life, but we get really, really close to perfecting it. So it is something that you can really bring into your life and be a master at. And as we learn to allow, we learn what surrender feels like for us. And surrender for people can be a very big word in that it activates or it triggers things and they feel almost like they're too vulnerable. Or, when I first was taught about surrendering, the image that came to my mind was that I leaned over and somebody chopped off my head. Like that was it. It was like, I surrender, I give up, and I've lost all my will and control. And for a lot of people, for a lot of the students who I've taught and private clients that I've worked with, this similar image, different, but surrendering has that key energy for them, that they feel like it's giving up. In energetic work, it is not giving up. It is actually the highest frequency that you can hold. But you have to find that for yourself. Everybody has to find their form of surrender, and they have to work through why, if they're not surrendering, why it's difficult for them. I had to work through it. Lots of people have to work through it, because once you do work through it, you understand that surrendering is an opening. It's like truly a flower and its petals opening. And as you open, you move into your true state, which is pure light. And in that pure light state, information can now flow through you, from within you and through you. And we're not pushing against. We're not pushing our will. I've talked about that in the past where I use a term called pushing my will. I used to, when I wanted something, I would try to push it and push it. And I think this is an issue with people who are wanting to manifest things. Manifesting is a state of allowing. In fact, I call it sourcing. I don't call it manifesting anymore because sourcing is where we are sourcing the energy that we need in order to birth this new vision that we have. We source the energy. We don't try to create it and push it and make it work. We want to source it and then allow it to bloom. And that's the letting go part when they talk about manifestation, is that you want to understand what it is you want, be very clear, but allow for the highest well-being to come about for it. And then you have to let it go. And you have to allow, right? Here we go with that allow and receiving part of it, to allow it to come into your life in the ways that are best for you. And that is not an easy thing. When you really want something, we tend to allow for maybe a second and then it's not fast enough and we push. And we are in a world where pushing and achieving and success and getting what you want has been really ingrained in us our whole life. And so moving from this pushing energy, which is really exhausting, right? When we figure it out, it's like, boy, it is exhausting. When you step back from that and you realize how much you're pushing every day, how much you're pushing to show up, how much you're pushing to impress, how much you're pushing hoping somebody else will like you, how much you're pushing hoping everything will go well, how much you're just pushing your energy to get stuff done when you're tired. It's just when you start to understand this frequency of pushing, there are huge revelations that go off for people. And it's wonderful because we need to understand all of these different emotional states because they're frequencies, they're energy that we're giving out. And we make choices. Do we want to push that way? Do we want to use our energy to push that way? Or do we want more flow in our life? Because pushing is not flow, it's pushing. Flow, there has to be some allowing. There has to be some smoothness of allowing and receiving and balancing. It's different. So, can you feel that? Because that's really what it is that we work with when we're elevating our energy, when we're cultivating our energy, when we're expanding into our spiritual gifts and our intuitive gifts. All we're doing is working and understanding frequencies. And we're understanding our individual frequencies depending on how we grew up, what we experienced, what we're carrying, what we're ready to let go of, what we're ready to step into, all of these different phases of our life. There's no right or wrong. It's just how it is. That's why everybody has different gifts to share because they all have different experiences. But it's really understanding something feels and vibrates a certain way. Does that resonate with you? Can you shift it? Do you need to shift it? If you shift it, will you feel better? Will more open in your life? So we can't push and receive at the same time. We can't push what we want and receive true intuitive information at the same time. This is why it's very difficult when you listen to people or you try to get intuitive advice. The person who is giving that intuitive advice really needs to be in total energetic neutrality. And this is difficult, especially if it's a situation where anyone has any emotional attachment to. It's very difficult to move into that true energetic neutral state. But when we move into an energetic neutral state, meaning we don't feel one way or the other about something, we've let the attachments go of right and wrong, good and bad, all of that. We've let it go. We understand that everything has its place. Every person has its place. Every situation has its place, even if we can't understand it. And we find that place of compassion for all and for everything. We move into that state of neutral. It's like moving into a state of unknowing. It's like moving into a state of pure innocence. When you allow yourself to go into energetic neutral, because you can't have a wanting or I wish it was this way or I hope it's this way. You're really moving into neutral. It's like you're moving into this extremely innocent state where you know nothing. And so, if that helps you to understand that when we move into energetic neutral, when we move into our alignment to receive, we're moving into a state where we know nothing. We're just this open, beautiful channel of light. And we're going to allow ourselves to receive without judgment, right? Without pushing. We're just going to allow ourselves to receive. It may sound a little daunting. It may sound like, wow, that's a lot. It's not. Once you start practicing it and you start to feel it, again, that's why I say all of energetic work is tangible. It has to be experienced. You need to experience it in this beautiful vessel that you have. You need to experience how energy moves in you. How do you react and respond? How does your body tense up or loosen? What are those looping thought forms that are going through? And that's what we work with. That's what we shift, and that's how we grow. And so we're really understanding ourselves. We're really knowing how we tick. So being able to let go, being able to move into a state of neutral or newness, no expectation, innocence of not knowing what is best, that's a big deal right now. Right now, if we could practice moving into a state where we could say, what's really best? I might not know what's really best. I might think I know, but what, from a higher perspective, what's really the best thing for me, for the planet, for the world, whatever questions you have, and moving into that space of your heart, moving into that center core of light, which runs actually through in between your spine, out the top of your head, and down through your root chakra, just allowing yourself to move into your center and just being is so needed right now. We're thinking so much. We have information coming at us all the time right now, and some of it is very confusing, and we don't know what to believe, what not to believe. And if you want to be in a state of an intuitive life, if you want to live in that frequency, moving into a state of unknowingness, being that empty cup, always learning, always growing, not having a precondition of this is exactly what it needs to be, but being in a state of what if? What is it that is here for me to learn? And all of those beautiful questions of the opening of receiving, that will move you into moving with your intuition every single day in everything that you do, because you will be able to really listen to a deeper part of you that just can't be heard when we're pushing and we've decided and we're tense and we're in fear and we are in worry and all of that. It can't be heard. So that's really what I want to leave you with today. There is this beautiful voice inside us, this beautiful feeling inside us, this beautiful knowing inside of us. All of these amazing intuitive senses that we have, they're subtle. They get stronger and stronger the more you tune into them, but they can be subtle and they can't be heard if there's all this other dense energy over them. So that's why we learn how to be quiet. We learn how to discharge and let go. We learn how to move into our center. We learn how to feel from the wisdom that's inside of us instead of feeling from all of this that's outside of us. And that's a different wisdom. It's a very, very different alignment. So I hope that that gives you something to think about, to explore, and to even work with this week. Just moving inside and feeling and sensing and seeing, how is that wisdom different than this other this other energy that's all out here. I thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you the most beautiful, peaceful, loving, safe, healthy, abundant week ahead. And I will see you in the next episode.